we have more Shanahan to talk about. Is his passion returning? Do you see him as a person who lost a little bit of passion and has regained it?
It sure seemed like he was checking out on the season to some degree, and you can't really blame him for that. It was a miserable 5 weeks, right? Going through the bye on that losing streak, having to answer to some really bonehead decisions, the team, seeming out of sorts. Kyle definitely felt checked out at that point. I think you have even called out that attitude that you saw in those pressers. It felt as if some of that passion was gone.
Yeah.
But now I see a resurgence a little bit. I see him turning the corner.
Since when?
Since the win.
Since the win.
Since he actually was able to get a win.
Press conferences now? Yeah, I feel you on that. I've definitely noticed that.
Yeah.
No, I'm not trying to joke. I hear you, man. I do think his passion's returning a little bit, but I also think like what's returning is his running game because he got this kid, Elijah Mitchell. We're going to talk about him later, but when a Shanahan has a running back who's playing like this, they're dangerous.
Yeah.
They could kind of beat anyone. Doesn't mean that they have the best team in the league, but
no.
To me, like you think of offensive gurus as being quarterback gurus, the Shanahans are running back gurus. And when they get one going, and it doesn't usually take long, although it's taken Shanahan about 2 years to replace Mostert. But once they get a guy going, they're tough to beat, man. So I don't know if it's his passion or it's his running game. One of the two, maybe both.
Because everything builds off of that. And maybe that is his passion. Maybe the running game is his passion. And therefore, once that's going, he feels, good again. I saw it. A genuine smile broke through a couple of times in the pressers. He was fired up in that post-game speech, dropping F-bombs left and right. It's a real positive sign for me. It's turning the corner. But I do wonder if something to come out of this is another positive,
right?
And that is, was he humbled? What's that?
He dropped a lot of F-bombs, right? That was
he dropped a ton of F-bombs.
That's him. He said, "I'm sorry, I have a very small vocabulary." That was hilarious. That was really cute. He can be charming sometimes. He really can. Usually after wins.
Do you feel that he's been humbled a little bit by this experience, by a 5-game losing streak?
No.
4-game losing streak.
No, I'm sorry.
No.
I don't think Kyle Shanahan has been humbled by anything in a long time. I'm not trying to be cynical, but what I do feel like you're saying, there's something different. Something changed. You know what changed? Debo went for 83 on 3rd and 19. That changed the whole complexion of the season. If he went for 15 and they punted, I don't know where they'd be right now. Yeah. That's why I'm like a little afraid to make too big of statements, because I kind of feel like that win over the Bears was even too fluky. Like there was too much luck that was involved. And I still don't if they lost to the Bears, I would have written them off. They beat the Bears, but I don't know if I look at them that much different. I don't know if I look at Kyle differently. I don't know if I look at Jimmy differently. I look at Elijah Mitchell differently. I look at Debo differently. Like these guys are serious Pro Bowl caliber players right now. But is Shanahan's passion returning? Let's see him beat Colt McCoy this weekend, if that's what it comes down to. Let's see him do it two times in a row.
Yeah.
2 times in a row.
That's fair. In order to actually say that it has returned, it must be a trend. It can't just be a flash in the pan.
Yeah, let's see him go on a little run here. So it could be the beginning of that. I'm not writing it off, but it could be the beginning of that. Real quick, that bye week, I don't know what happened the first few weeks of the season, but like the wheels fell off right away, and Brandon Ayuk his career was going down the tubes.
Yep.
And then the bye week, Kyle Shanahan, it occurred to him like, maybe I should go talk to Brandon.
Maybe.
And they had a talk, and he was like, "Hey, Brandon, by the way, I don't hate you." And Brandon was like, "Really? Word? Because I thought you did."
It seemed pretty clear you did.
He said he had trust issues, and they had to hash it out. Dude, I don't hate you. I'm trying to make you better. Really? It didn't feel that way. I promise. Okay. And now, dude, the passion, I don't know. Maybe it's the communication.
Yes. Well, I have tweeted this quote from John Harbaugh because it's one of my favorites. And it is, if you want players to believe that you care about them, the best way to do that is to actually care about them.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
And I think, Saleh and Kyle were a great tandem. Saleh is big on how much showing his affection for players, right? He hugs them. He celebrates with them. He runs on the field. You have to physically hold him back, right? because he loves his players so much. Kyle's the opposite. If
Yes.
he feels it, he doesn't show it. He's looking at his play sheet. He's very Belichick. So
Very
they were
analytical.
good yin and yang, and he needs to, especially for his offense. Like Brandon Ayuk could use a coach like Saleh, like John Harbaugh, someone who says, "I love you, Brandon. I believe in you." I mean, all I know is I'm that kind of person. If Kyle had been my mentor and said, "Grant, like you suck. I don't like your analysis of football." Like if I were to have to do it to prove him wrong, he could crush me.
Yes.
But luckily, I had Saleh, who called me up in 2019 and was like, "Grant, I believe in you. I think you're special. I think you're really good, but you're stuck doing this. You can do this." It's like I'm sensitive. I'm a millennial. That's the kind of positive reinforcement that I thrive off of. And I don't know if Kyle gave it to Brandon until recently. And maybe that's why you see a lot of people on the offense afraid to make mistakes, including the quarterbacks.
Right. It breaks them. The perfectionist attitude breaks them because they know the only thing coming their way is the stick. There's no carrot. There's no wrapping your arms around. Let me say that the greatest coaches in the NFL and in life, as someone who has at a corporate level dealt with a lot of coaches, directors, senior managers of people, the best managers, coaches can flex back and forth between the two. They have both of those skills in their arsenal.
Because different people need different styles of leadership.
Precisely.
And it's clear that Brandon Ayuk, what he needs is probably opposite of what Deebo Samuel needs. I don't know Ayuk that well because I've never been in the locker room with him. He's been in the team only post-pandemic. But if you watch his press conferences, it's clear that he's extremely shy.
Yes.
And there's nothing wrong with that. Like a lot of great athletes are shy. But that just, you have to approach him. He'll shut down on you if you talk to him a certain way, as opposed to, I don't think Deebo would.
No.
Deebo is not shy, but there's nothing wrong with that. Anyway, Kyle seems to be getting it. Is his passion returning? I don't know. Whatever it is, he seems to be doing better. And I think maybe he actually did some serious self-reflection at the bye week and found some answers.
Yeah, that's my hope. To your point of it potentially not having gone that direction and needing to see more, I get it. Because while I have seen less snark in the pressers, I did hear him say in response when asked about rhythm, he says, "I feel like when you guys ask that question, you're really talking about me." Yeah. Right. It was like, well, it's back on me again. And it's not really my fault. Right. The whole offense was out of rhythm. It wasn't just my play calling that was out of rhythm. So I didn't enjoy hearing that because that's not a sign of the positive corner I'm talking about Kyle turning.
Well, we're going to see how look, if they lose to Arizona this week, he's going to be whispering at the podium. All right.
Yes.
Ben says, appreciate the content. Love you, Ben. I've been sick for the last 2 days watching you in The Sopranos. Enjoy The Sopranos. Who's your favorite character on The Sopranos?
First of all, Ben, I am currently also watching The Sopranos. I managed to go my entire life with that as one of my top 5 shows, not watching season 6 because I had them on DVD, but I was told it changed the writers and season 6 was terrible. So I didn't want to ruin the program. I am now watching season 6, having just rewatched 1 through 5 over the last 6 weeks or whatever it is. I mean, Tony's
Tony's the greatest. But who's your favorite character?
Sil.
It's like sub character in the show.
Sil, for sure. Silvio.
Ooh, okay. Mine is Phil Leotardo.
Ooh.
The bad guy who gets his head run over. Spoiler alert. Sorry, why did I do that? He's watching the show. So Phil Leotardo is so crass. And if you watched Goodfellas, because a lot of the characters in The Sopranos are guys who make appearances in Goodfellas, which is one of the greatest movies of all time. He's Billy Batts, who was the dude in the bar who tells, what's his face? Pesci to go get his box.
His shine box.
Go get his shine box, which is the meanest thing anyone said to anyone in the history of Hollywood cinema.
Oh, it's phenomenal.
Pesci, of course, couldn't take that and had to come back. And anyway, Billy Batts, Phil Leotardo, I forget. I think the actor's name is Frank Vincent. I think he died a few years ago. Great actor. Great character actor. And something about Phil Leotardo kills me. He's the first few seasons he's in jail, and then he gets out of jail, and he's like the thorn in Tony's side, right?
Right.
Can't stand Tony.
Yeah.
And he's got none of the social graces and charm that Tony has. He's just the worst. He's hilarious.
Yeah.
Love that guy.
There's a lot of tension there. Tony's cousin kills his brother. It's great character build up in The Sopranos.
Absolutely.
Excellent show.
Sopranos, great show. God. All right, feel better, Ben.